Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. Today we're going to recap college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, and we'll look at everything today. Then we'll do golf. We'll talk about Survivor from last week, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with college football. We'll recap the couple of games from yesterday and look ahead to tonight, and it's Maction yet again. It's funny because Tuesdays a month ago were like Conference USA, now Maction took that spot. Buffalo over Ball State 51-48 in overtime. Bowling Green over Western Michigan 31-13. Toledo over Central Michigan 37-10. All right, tonight 7 o'clock ESPNU Kent State Miami of Ohio. I have Miami of Ohio by 21.5, total 52 and 3/20. And we have here Miami of Ohio by 30.5, total 46.5. That's way too high. I'm taking Kent State getting the 30 in the hook. CBS Sports Network, Akron, Northern Illinois Mines. Northern by 15, total 49 and 11/20. It says 15.5 and 44.5. I like the over a lot in that game. And last but not least, on ESPN2, Eastern Michigan, Ohio. Mine's Ohio by 4, total 51.5, and a 10.5 and 50.5. I'm going to take Eastern Michigan getting the 10.5 to hang around. That's a little high, but I don't know how I was playing better. All right, college basketball. We had a big window yesterday. We'll go over everything. And we'll look ahead to everything tonight. And we're just going to do Division I scores. Not Division I against non-Division I. Big Five Classic, St. Joe's over Villanova, 83-76. State Farm Champions Classic, number 1 Kansas over Michigan State, 77-69. Providence over Hampton, 60-51. LaSalle over Cornell, 93-77. William & Mary over Norfolk State, 84-73. SIU Edwardsville over Indiana State, 77-72. Radford over Old Dominion, 87-75. Big Five Classic, Temple over Drexel, 69-61. USF over Arkansas Plymouth, 85-69. Fairfield over New Hampshire, 60-56. Purdue Fort Wayne over Bethune, 91-69. Tennessee Tech over West Georgia, 76-73. Loyola Maryland over NJIT, 68-50. Columbia over Lehigh, 76-75. Lafayette over Penn, 65-63. Northern Illinois over Monmouth, 79-66. Miami of Ohio over Maryland Eastern, 88-70. San over American, 74-66. High Point over NC Central, 76-60. George Washington over NCAT, 85-80. Fordham over Binghamton, 78-63. Florida State over Tarleton State, 72-52. UCF over FAU, 194. Penn State over State for MPA, 92-62. Northwestern over UIC, 83-74. South Carolina over Towson, 80-54. Peach State Classic, Georgia over North Florida, 90-77. Syracuse over Colgate, 74-72. Rider over Navy, 90-79. Delaware over Iona, 64-58. Clemson over Eastern Kentucky, 75-62. Stephen F. Foster over Latorno, 87-68. Georgia Tech over Texas Southern, 81-62. Mississippi State over Southeast Louisiana, 80-59. Number 12, Baylor over Sam Houston, 104-67. Number 25, Ole Miss over South Alabama, 64-54. Arkansas State over Little Rock, 80-63. Cleveland State over Valpo, 75-67. Rice over Yale Monroe, 66-50. Illinois State over Ohio, 85-75. Bradley over UTSA, 85-72. Incarnate Word over Prairie View, 84-82. Or 81. Texas over Chicago State, 105-58. Belmont over Lipscomb, 80-79. TCU over Texas State, 76-71. Xavier over Jackson State, 94-57. Champions Classic, number 19, Kentucky over number 6, Duke, 77-72. I couldn't have been more wrong about that game. Wow. Colorado State over Denver, 74-65. New Mexico over A&M Corpus Christi, 181. Iowa over South Dakota, 96-77. Utah over Queens, 96-65. UC Riverside over Cal Baptist, 70-69. St. Mary's over Akron, 87-68. UC San Diego over Sacramento State, 64-54. Portland State over San Diego, 85-76. Stanford over Northern Arizona, 90-64. And Oregon over Portland, 80-70 in overtime. All right, now we look ahead to the games for tonight, 5 o'clock, is Albany-Dartmouth. My line is Dartmouth by 8. And it is Albany 1.5, total 150.5. I think the wrong team's favored here. Give me Dartmouth plus the 1.5 and minus 106 outright. UMass Louisiana Tech at 6 o'clock. Icons of the game. That's in Uniondale. That's at the Islanders Stadium. So I have to readjust my line. So my line is UMass by 1.25. I did not realize that. My bad. And it is UMass 1.5, total 145.5. I'll take the over. Wagner at number 22, St. John's, 630 Fox Sports 2. I have St. John's by 27. It's 24.5 and 143.5. I will lay the points with St. John's. Southern Indiana, Bellarmine. Mine's Bellarmine by 1/4. And it's 3.5, 141. I'll take Southern plus the 3.5 and plus 142 outright. I think they could win. Fox Sports 1, Lemoyne at number 3, UConn. My line's UConn 32.5. And it's 37.5 and 150.5. I'll take Lemoyne getting the points. Montana at number 11, Tennessee. My line is Tennessee 23.5. And it's 25.5, 138.5. I'll take Montana and the points. The HBCU All-Stars Challenge, Howard, Tennessee State. That's actually being played in Phoenix, so I have to change the line for that as well. I have Howard by 2.25. And it is 3.5 and 148.5. I'm going to take the over. Georgia State, Jacksonville State. My line is Jack State by 4. And it's 4.5, 141.5. I'll take the over there as well. Coastal Carolina, NC State. Mine's NC State 31.25. It's 19.5, 142.5. I'll lay the points at NC State. Mount St. Mary's, Bucknell. My line's Bucknell by 11. It's 5.5, 144.5. I'll lay the points. Harvard, Northeastern. My line's Northeastern 1.5. And it's 3.5, 144.5. I'll take Harvard in the 3 in the hook. Wright State, Toledo. I have Toledo 3 3/4, and it's 7.5, 164.5. Woo! Give me Wright State in the points. I made some adjustments in my projections. Now you'll see me give out more underdogs. Wofford Presbyterian. I have Wofford by 5. And it's 3.5, 145.5. I'll take the over. St. Bonaventure, Florida Gulf Coast. My line is Bonaventure by 10. And it's 1.5, 136.5. I'll lay the 1.5 with St. Bonaventure. Rice, Charlotte. I have a Richmond, Charlotte. My bad. I have Richmond by 3. And Richmond is... Oh, Charlotte's a 2.5-point favorite. So it was 139.5. I'm going to take Richmond 2 in the hook and plus 126 straight up. Ball State, Dayton. I have Dayton 18. And it's 16.5, 141.5. I'll take the over. Central Michigan, George Mason in the Marquette Challenge. Is that at George Mason's arena? Yes. I have George Mason by 15. And it is 13.5 and 137.5. I'll take the over. Milwaukee, Longwood. I have Longwood 3.5. And it is 3.5. Total is 155.5. I think that's high. I'm going to go with the under. Canisius, Mercyhurst. I have Mercyhurst by 9.5. And it's Canisius 1.5. Total is 141.5. I'll take Mercyhurst getting the 1 the hook and plus 114 outright. It's their welcome. Hey, we're here in the Division I type of game. USC upstate Wake. My line is Wake by 34.5. And it's 29.5, 151.5. I'll lay the points. Merrimack, VCU. I have VCU 20 3/4. And it's 16.5 and 132.5. I'll lay the points. 7:30, Evansville, Middle Tennessee. I have Middle Tennessee by 10.5. And it's 10.5 and 141.5. I'll take the over. Southern, East Texas A&M. I have East Texas A&M by 2, and it's Southern 3.5 to 147.5. I'll take East Texas A&M plus 3.5 and plus 138 outright. 8 o'clock, Kent State at number 5, Auburn. I have Auburn by 19. It's 21.5, 146.5. I'll take Kent State getting the points. Louisiana at number 8, Houston. I have Houston 22.5, and it's 3.5 and 136.5. I'll take Louisiana getting the points. Troy, number 18, Arkansas. I have Arkansas 16.5. And it's 12.5 and 153.5. I'll lay the 12.5 with Arkansas. Green Bay, Western Illinois. I have Western 7.25. And it's 3.5 and 143.5. I'm going to lay the points. Oral Roberts, Tulsa. I have Tulsa 9.5. And it's 9.5, 151.5. I'll go over, even though I think that's a little high. Cal Vandy. I have Vandy by 4. And Vandy is an 8.5 point favorite. So it's 159.5. That's high. Give me Cal plus the points. Wyoming, Texas Tech. I have Tech 15 3/4, and it's 22.5, 144.5. I'll take Wyoming in the points. Hofstra, Seton Hall. I have Seton Hall by 14, and it is 5.5 and 135.5. I'll lay the 5.5 with Seton Hall. North Texas, Minnesota. Runs Minnesota by 1.5, and it's 1.5 and 129.5. Ooh, over. That's a low total. Fairleigh Dickinson, Nebraska. I have Nebraska 20.25. It's 26.5, 157.5. I'll take Fairleigh Dickinson in the points. 9 o'clock, Fox Sports 1. Houston Christian, number 14, Creighton. I have Creighton 31.5. And it's 35.5, 159.5. I'll take Houston Baptist getting the point. Oakland, Illinois, Big Ten Network. I have Illinois 26, and it's 22.5, 151.5. I'll lay the points. Cal State, Fullerton, Colorado. Mine's Colorado 17 3/4. And 16.5, 137.5. I'll go over. Queens, BYU. My line is BYU 32.5, and it is 30.5, 157.5. I'll lay the points. 10 o'clock, North Dakota State, Santa Barbara. I have Santa Barbara 21.5, and it's 15.5, 152.5. I'm laying the points. I almost said over. Fresno State, Santa Barbara. I have Fresno by 0.5, and it is Santa Barbara by a whopping 13.5. Totals 150.5. That's way too high. Give me Fresno State plus the points. I think they can win outright too. They're plus 790. That's a good long shot for you guys. Weber State, Nevada. I have Nevada by 16, and 16.5, 139.5 over. Long Beach State, San Francisco. My line, San Francisco 21 3/4. It's 15.5, 146.5. I'll lay the points. And last but not least, 11 o'clock, Big Ten Network. UT Arlington, USC. I have SC by 14. It's 16.5, 155.5. I'll take Arlington getting the points. Okay, now move on to the NBA. We'll go over the games from yesterday. They're all in-season tournament games. And look ahead to the games for tonight. So it was a fun first night of they're calling it the NBA Cup. All right, so Hawks over the Celtics, pretty big upset, 117-116. That was Group C. Pistons over the Heat, 123-121 in overtime. That was Group B. Magic over the Hornets, 114-89. That was Group A. Knicks over the Sixers, 111-99. That was also Group A. Bucks over the Raptors, 99-85. That was Group B. Or in the West, Suns over the Jazz, 120-112. That was Group B. Warriors over the Mavericks, 121-17. What was one of the best games of the season so far. That was Group C. And then Blazers upset the T-Wolves, 122-108. That is Group A. All right, now we have more games tonight. No cup games. This isn't a group play. Group play resumes Friday. So 7 o'clock, Pacers Magic. I have the Pacers as a 2 3/4 favorite on the road. That's because of no Paulo. And they're 1.5 and 224. I'm gonna take the over. 7:30, Celtics Nets. Mine is Celtics 8 1/4, and it's 8.5, 217.5 over. Bulls Knicks. My line is the Knicks 8.5, and that's what it is. In totals 230. Over. Cavs Sixers. I have Cavs by 9, but if Embiid doesn't play, 15. It's 9.5 and 218. That line tells you that Embiid's probably not playing. So if Embiid doesn't play, I'll lay the points. If he does play, I'll take the under. ESPN Pelicans Thunder. That would have been a better game if everybody was healthy on New Orleans and OKC. So that was an L for ESPN. I'd put Cavs Sixers even in there, even with those two players out because of the Cavs being undefeated. I'd put the Cavs in there. My line is the Thunder by a whopping 22.5, and it's 14.5 and 222.5. I'll lay the 14.5. They're going to blow them out. 8 o'clock, Clippers Rockets. My line is the Rockets 9.5, and it's 5 and 214. I'll lay the 5 with the Rockets. Pistons Bucks. I have the Bucks by only 3/4, and it's 5.5, 215.5. I like the trade plus 5.5, and I think they're live. They're plus 188 outright. And right now, they're 5 and 7. They're kind of a surprise right now in the East. For a team that's usually bad, being 5 and 7, that's respectable for the Pistons. Wizards Spurs. My line is the Spurs by 7.5, and it's 9.5 and 225. I'll take the Wiz getting the points. I think that's too much respect for Wembanyama. 10 o'clock, ESPN Grizzlies Lakers. I have the Lakers by 8 3/4, and it's Lakers 6 total 230.5. I'm going to lay the 6 with the Lakers. T-Wolves Blazers for the second night in a row. I have T-Wolves by 9 1/4, and it's 9 220.5. I'll take the over. And last but not least, Suns Kings. I have Kings 4.5, and it's 7.5 and 226. I'll take Phoenix getting 7 in the hook. That's too high. I know no Durant's a big deal, but they still have Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. I think they can hang around, so I'm going to take the Suns getting the 7 in the hook. Now I'll do hockey. We'll go over the results from yesterday, and we'll look ahead to tonight's games, which is a small window. Jets over the Rangers 6-3, Sens over the Leafs 3-0, Devils over the Panthers 4-1, Bruins over the Blues 3-2, Oilers over the Isles 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Leon Draisaitl. Canucks over the Flames 3-1, and the Kraken over the Blue Jackets 5-2. All right, 5 games today. I don't know where 9 came from. 7:30 on TNT and Max, Red Wings Penguins. Crap game. Pens minus 138, Red Wings plus 116, over under 6.5, overs minus 114, others minus 106. Detroit plus 1.5 is minus 15, Pens minus 1.5 plus 172. Detroit can win this game. I'm going to take them plus 116. The Pens are a mess. Leafs Caps. Caps minus 125, Leafs plus 104, over under 6.5, overs plus 108, unders minus 132. Leafs plus 1.5 is minus 250, Caps minus 1.5 plus 198. The only reason why the Leafs have a plus by their name is because of no Austin Matthews. I'm taking them at plus 104. They're still a good team, even without Matthews. But not a contender without Matthews, obviously. 9 o'clock, Hurricanes, Utah. Canes minus 188, Utah plus 155, over under 6.5, overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Canes minus 1.5 plus 134, Utah plus 1.5 is minus 164. I'm going to go over 6.5 at plus 104. 10 o'clock on TNT, True TV, and Max, Kings, Avs. Avs minus 138, Kings plus 115, over under 6.5, overs plus 108, unders minus 132. Kings plus 1.5 is minus 215, Avs minus 1.5 plus 172. The Kings are playing better than the Avalanche so far this season. And taking advantage of the disappointing teams is always a good way to go. I'm going to take the Kings at plus 115. And then Golden Knights Ducks. Vegas minus 194. Anaheim plus 160 over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Vegas minus 1.5 plus 128. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 158. I'm going to go with the over at even money. Now we're going to do soccer. We'll go over the results of note from yesterday, and then we have a little bit more soccer today. We'll start with Women's Champions League. Barcelona over St. Pölten 7-0. Arsenal over Juventus 4-0. Man City over Hammer BIF 2-0. Banner over Vonega 3-0. All right, four more matches today. 12:45 Galatasaray and Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg minus 3,500. Galatasaray 65-1. Draws 14-1. We're going over 4.5 goals plus 114. Real Madrid FC 20. Real Madrid minus 950. 20 is 15-1. The draws plus 750. We're going to go under 3.5 goals minus 114. 3 o'clock Celtic Chelsea. Chelsea minus 6,000. Celtic 60-1. The draws 24-1. Over 4.5 goals plus 108. Roma Lyon. Lyon minus 420. Roma 8-1. The draws plus 470. Over 3.5 goals minus 116. All right, so AFCON. All right, Namibia and Cameroon are 0-0 right now. 11 o'clock is Liberia and Togo. Togo plus 140, Liberia plus 195, the draws plus 195 as well. We're going to do Liberia plus 195. Chad and Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone's minus 120. Chad is 3-1, the draws plus 230. We go with the draw at plus 230. So that's it for really notable soccer. We also have the other league, the England tournament with like those lower teams, but they don't play today. So we'll go over those results very quickly. Barrow over Aston Villa 3-0. Aston Villa under 21. Charlton over Bromley 1-0. Chesterfield over Grimsby Town 3-2. Harrogate Town Blackpool 2-2 draw. Blackpool wins 5-4 in penalties. Lincoln City over Man City under 21 5-0. Leighton Orient over Milton Keynes 3-1. Carlisle United over Morecambe 2-1. Burton Albion over Northampton Town 5-2. Notts County over Leicester under 21 1-0. Reading over Newport County 3-0. Salford City over Wolverhampton under 21 3-2. Stevenage and Gillingham 1-1 draw. Gillingham wins 5-4 in penalties. Trymere over Stockport County 2-0. Walsall over Shrewsbury Town 3-0. Wigan, Nottingham Forest under 21 0-0 draw. Wigan wins 3-0 in penalties. Wycombe over Crawley Town 2-1. Bolton over Fleetwood Town 2-1. Colchester over Arsenal under 21 3-0. Huddersfield Town over Man United under 21 4-1. And Port Vale and Wrexham 1-1 draw. And Port Vale wins 3-1 penalties. And then Scottish League Challenge Cup. East Kilbride over Ayr United 3-2. Dunfermline Athletic over Alloy Athletic 1-0. And Livingston over Greenock 2-1. All right, so there you have it. Now for soccer, now we'll move on to Survivor. Last week was a very interesting show. It's a show that's always one of my favorites. The Survivor auction was involved. So in the beginning of the episode, Soul privately told Rachel that he gave her the safety without power, and they aligned. And then the next morning, everyone was tasked with finding bamboo tubes containing money for the upcoming Survivor auction. Andy had none, and an item Rachel bought included a note, and Sam lost his vote due to having the most money left at the end of the auction. Rachel's note was a clue to an idol hidden in the shelter's tarp. She was able to get it without being caught. And then Gata and Lavo agreed to align against Tuku, but Caroline tried to convince Lavo to work with her alliance against Gata instead, as she thinks the Gata members, especially Rachel, are more dangerous. The immunity challenge. The players held onto a bar attached to an overhead bucket containing 25% of their pregame body weight. And if their bucket dropped, they were out. And the last player, or I should say the last man and woman left standing each won immunity. So Sue won for the women. Kyle won his third in the row for the men. And that challenge that they did is a tradition like no other. That's always a good one. Lavo sided with Tuku, but we're unsure on who to vote out. Soul tried to save Rachel. It would break up the stronger pair of Sam and Sierra. Andy sided with the majority, feeling like Gata members had been taking him for granted. And at Tribal, Rachel played her shot in the dark, which didn't work. And the vote was between Sam and Sierra. Since Sam already lost his vote, Sierra could vote in the tiebreaker, but only for Sam, ultimately. Though Sierra was the one sent to the jury by everyone else that could vote. So, Sierra actually voted for Gabe in the original vote. So that's where the tie came in. Sierra, Artini, Soul, Genevieve, and Andy voted for Sam. Caroline, Gabe, and Sue, and Kyle voted for Sierra. And the revote, everybody voted for Sierra, and she was out. Except for herself, who voted for Sam. And Rachel lost her vote because of shot in the dark, and then Sam didn't have the challenge. Or didn't have the vote. Because he lost the auction. Alright, fun episode. Best move of the episode. I'd say the best move was Soul owning up to Rachel about the advantage. That was really wise of Soul. He did the right thing. Worst move of the episode. You can make a case it was Rachel playing her shot in the dark. Because that could have swayed the vote a different way. And she could have saved that for something else. And plus, nobody voted for her anyway. So, A, because nobody voted for her, and B, what was I going to say? Nobody voted for her. Although she was nervous that she was unsafe because of the last vote. So I'm going to say the worst move was Rachel playing her shot in the dark. Best moment of the episode. I loved seeing the contestants eat the worms. That was pretty fun. Nothing really stands out for a worst moment, though. Alright, the big stuff. Who wins individual immunity tonight? I'm going to say Rachel. Winner. I'm sticking with Caroline. She's been really good. And next out. Ooh. If Kyle doesn't win immunity, I think he's out. potentially. But I could see there being a random blindside on somebody we're not expecting. I'm going to say Genevieve goes home. And I like Genevieve. She's a good player. But I feel like it's going to be somebody random that we're not expecting. Because sometimes the name that gets voted out isn't even said when they're talking. So I'm going to say it's a surprise and Genevieve goes home. Okay, now move on to the news and notes for today. It's being reported that a Mike McCarthy return is unlikely, as the Cowboys bringing him back next year would surprise a lot of people. Shaq calls out Joel Embiid as he says Embiid will never win a title unless he changes his attitude. I don't disagree with Shaq. I don't disagree with him. All right, so the Warriors showed love to Klay Thompson, but still get some jabs ahead of the Golden State return. Kirby Smart apologized for his comments as he admits mistake calling his player an idiot after viral video of him celebrating the Ole Miss win. Yeah, that's just some random turmoil there with Georgia football. USC placed on probation as the NCAA says Lincoln Riley's program violated on and off field coaching activities both in 2022 and 2023, and also fined $50,000. That's crazy. College football playoff rankings are out. I'm gonna talk about them right now. So 1 through 5: Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana. 6 through 10: BYU, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Miami, Alabama. 11 through 15: Ole Miss, Georgia. Wow, Georgia's all the way down to 12. Boise, SMU, Texas A&M. 16 through 20: Kansas State, Colorado, Wazoo, Louisville, Clemson. And 21 through 25: South Carolina, welcome to the rankings. LSU, Missouri, Army, and Tulane finally is in the picture. And Iowa State and Pitt are out. So that's the new college football playoff rankings. Tim Hardaway Jr. took multiple hits in the head and had to exit that game in a wheelchair. The CAT scan came back negative, which is good. Anthony Davis will be back tonight against the Grizzlies, so that's good. Emmanuel quickly has an elbow tear, so he'll be reevaluated in a week. Russell Okung turned $6.5 million in salary into $20 million after being paid in cryptocurrency. Jerry Jones says that the prognosis is wonderful ahead of Dak's season-ending surgery on hamstring. As he's officially done for the season. I wonder if they're going to get flexed out of any primetime games. Probably Thanksgiving won't because it's Thanksgiving. And Sunday, they won't as well. Isaiah Pacheco set to return as that's huge for Kansas City. The Diamondbacks may trade Jordan Montgomery as they're potentially willing to eat part of his salary to find a trade partner. Wow, that's a crazy. He'll be rejuvenated on a different team, you would think. The Angels signed Travis d'Arnaud, 2 years, $12 million. Nice signing for them. He was a good Brave player, but the Braves could replace his offense. 3 teams linked to Garrett Crochet: the Red Sox, the Orioles, and the Dodgers. The Dodgers, I don't think, are going to get him. The Dodgers just get everybody. They're freaking spoiled, as we know. I don't think they're going to get him. They need bullpen help, the Dodgers. And plus, the Yankees probably gave that World Series away more than you would think. Dodgers probably still would have won it, but That Yankee series should have been a lot closer than it was. And I think, despite, I know the Dodgers have a ton of talent, but they don't need Garrett Crochet. The Red Sox and the Orioles could use him. Alec Boehm's on the trade block, as the Phillies are looking to shake up their team. Adam Schefter says that Daniel Jones, or he would guess Daniel Jones does not play another down for the Giants. Wouldn't surprise me, because of the thing in his contract. Denver did the same thing with Russell Wilson last year, but the difference between the two players is that Russell Wilson last year was playing better than Daniel Jones over the last year and a half, or season and a half. So that was the difference between the two. And not that Denver made a mistake in that, but Russell Wilson wasn't the reason Denver was losing games last year. They were losing games last year because of their defense, in my opinion. And the Giants are losing games solely because of Daniel Jones. Joe Shane is looking for solutions as he reflects on team being not where they want to be. And I think his job is safe. Although Schefter also said that he doesn't think Dayball's safe because of past history after Mara saying that McAdoo was safe and Joe Judge was safe. But that's a different story, though. Those two coaches were awful. Brian Daboll's not awful. He's obviously not the coach he was 2 years ago. That might have been Saquon Barkley. More credit to him, but there's a lot of coaches I'd rather have Brian Daboll than Mike McCarthy. I'd rather have Brian Daboll than arguably Nick Sirianni. I'd rather have Daboll than Doug Peterson, Antonio Pierce, David Canales, Todd Bowles. There's a lot of coaches I'd rather have Brian Daboll than. The only way I'd get rid of them if you know you're getting Mike Vrabel or Bill Belichick. Although Belichick has a lot of Phil Jackson Knicks potential there, which makes me nervous. That's what that would remind me of a lot. So that's why I'm a little skeptical about Belichick, although if they hire Belichick, it better just be to coach, not to have full control. The Silver Sluggers were announced yesterday. Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, of course, are among the recipients. So Vlad Jr., Jose Altuve, Jose Ramirez, Bobby Witt, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Anthony Santander, Sal Perez, Brent Rooker, Josh Smith, and the team winner was the Yankees. National League, Bryce Harper, Ketel Marte, Manny Machado, Francisco Lindor, Teoscar Hernandez, Jackson Morrill, Jurickson Profar, William Contreras, JT Realmuto, that was a finalist for catcher. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and the Dodgers won the team, of course. This is unfortunate, is that the Trop repairs will cost $55.7 million as the race stadium would be ready for 2026 season, according to damage assessment report. So how about this? Dalmador Lenore gets a 5-year, $92 million extension with the Niners. That's a crazy extension. The Dolphins claim ex-Seahawks linebacker Tyrell Dodson off of waivers. That's a nice pickup for them. The Dolphins, you could use some depth as they're kind of not out of it yet. The AFC, I think, is a little weaker than you think because of the demise of the Jets and the Browns not being good, the AFC South being disappointing as a whole. So there's a path for the Dolphins to get there. And then the Bucs are unlikely to fire Doc Rivers, as NBA sources skeptical that the Bucs GM has the freedom to make another head coaching change. Yeah, I think Doc is okay. It's not his fault that they're 2-8. I think that's on management more so than Doc. So there you have it for news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. There's a lot of games I like in a lot of the sports. There's a lot of them that jumped out to me. But because of all these injuries, I have to lay 14.5 with the Thunder against the Pelicans. That's going to be best bet. So Thunder minus 14.5 at home against the Pelicans. So there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look ahead to everything tomorrow. And we have Thursday Night Football tomorrow. A monster game between the Eagles and the Commanders, and I can't wait for it. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.